The board just returned from closed session, and while in closed session, the board took action to approve and ratify a final settlement agreement and release between parents and the Duarte Unified School District for case number 2022-NR, pursuant to which the district has agreed to provide educational services to the student, and student parents have agreed to release claims against the district. In exchange for educational services as specified in the agreement, the roll call vote was as follows. It was motioned by, 4, 0, and 1. It is 4 approved, 0 against, and 1 absent. I will now call the meeting to order at 7:12. Roll call, Mr. Bell.
Present.
Cici Carroll, absent. Dr. Finlay.
Here.
Mr. Figueroa.
Present.
And Reina Diaz, present. And students, Sophia. Turn it up. Turn it up. Okay. Thank you.
We have.
Adrian?
Present.
Thanks.
Present.
Go ahead.
Okay, and Audrey?
Present.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Figueroa, would you please lead us in a flag salute, belief, vision, mission?
Okay.
Thank you.
Please join me. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated.
our beliefs. We believe we are a community of learners. We believe learning occurs in a culture of caring and respect. We believe all students are motivated to learn when they are engaged in meaningful work that connects to their lives. We believe expectations do influence performances and outcomes. We believe learning increases when there are high expectations for performance and conduct. We believe we have the responsibility to find solutions that enable all students to learn. Our vision, 21st century schools producing 21st century students. Our mission, provide the knowledge, skills, and inspiration for each student for success in college, career, and life.
Thank you, Mr. Figueroa. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Bell, second.
Second.
Seconded by Dr. Finlay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, with the exception of Mrs. Carroll, that is absent. Okay, we now move to take the oath of office to the student board members. Dr. Emerson.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, I'd like to ask that Sophia and Audrey meet me on the floor at the podium. Thank you. Audrey, you're going to be first. You two both do it individually. Okay? All right. So step right over here with me. We will do this together. You ready? All right, Audrey, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Audrey Ramirez,
I, Audrey Ramirez,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support
that I will support
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of California
of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution
to the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of California,
of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully
and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations. And Sophia. Sophia, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Sophia Amaya,
I, Sophia Amaya,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support
that I will support
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of California
of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution
to the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of California,
of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully
and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
which upon I am about to enter.
Very good. I'd ask the board to join us on the floor for photo.
That is for free too. Okay, thank you.
Should we balance it?
Yeah.
I'll go over there.
Good?
Oh, wait. I'll just
Looking forward to working with both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, congratulations to Sophia and Andrew. I just like to let you know that it is really a great honor to serve on the board, but it is a lots of responsibilities too. You will need to go through the agenda before the meeting so you are prepared to vote. And I think that, I don't know how long ago that we started with the student program, student board member. But I remember that was one of the first ones around the area. And when you get the opportunity to go to the conference, CSBA conference, you will hear from other students, board members, and it will be a great experience. So, but thank you for taking the responsibility to serve as a student board member. It is very important. Thank you, and welcome to our board in Duarte Unified. Okay, now we continue with reports from student board members. So, Sophia.
Testing. Okay. So good evening, all. We had a recent event at Doherty High School. It was called Breaking Down the Walls. It was from August 23rd to the 26th, and it was a 2-day activity that was held in order to increase school spirit and to have students branch out from their normal friend groups and to meet new people. We had about 50 student leaders that were assigned students at random to play some icebreaker games to get to know each other better and just to build communication skills. when talking with our student body and asking them about the feedback about this activity, many felt that they felt free in expressing their thoughts and ideas, and they felt more comfortable when it came to talking to new people. When it came to our student leaders, they also felt that it allowed for their leadership skills to improve. So overall, I would say that our student body was pretty satisfied with this activity, and it definitely led to school participation. Moving on with participation with our students, we have seen a large number of participation in our sports. We have 3 full volleyball teams, we have a large football team, and there has been a lot of support for these teams. There's also a lot of excitement in our school for our new tennis courts. I know our tennis team is super excited to be finally back on our home court. And some upcoming events, ASB is celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month for the full month. They started today, and it will go on to the 15th of October. And next week, we have a blood drive that we're hosting in partnership with City of Hope in our gym. So for everyone here, I highly invite you and the school to please come down and participate in donating blood. So thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, Sophia. So, your turn.
Good evening, everyone. So this month and the past month at Mount Olive, we have begun an esports class where kids will be able to compete with professional players, individuals, and teams. And then our Outward Bound adventure has started, and the first hiking trip planned is on September 24th at Cooper Canyon, and then following those will be 3 overnight trips. Coming up, we have 2 trips for Creating Creators, our film class. One of them will be to the Screenfest Black Carpet event, and then the next one will be at a workshop where students will be able to engage in acting, sound, makeup, and directing workshops. And then both events will be held at the Grauman's Chinese Theater.
Wow.
Our Chill Thursdays are back, and Chill Thursdays stands for Career, Health, Interventions, and Life Skills Literacy. So far, the guest speakers we have had are the U.S. Navy, the U.S. Army, and a career plumber. Future guest speakers include LA Metro Duarte Teen Center, Oak Crest Institute of Science, and Foothill Federal Credit Union. The clubs we have right now are Bike Club ambassadors, but we will have more clubs on the way. In Bike Club, students are able to repair and build bikes, and they can repair their own personal bike, or they are able to build a new bike from scratch, and those bikes will be donated to kids in the community. Our Ambassadors Club has started as well, and we have elected a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. What the club does is they help set things up around the school and help make any decisions for on-campus activities. Thank you.
Thank you. Good report. Okay, moving to presentations. Dr. Emerson.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight, this evening, we'll be doing a presentation on the Girardi Unified School District's unaudited actual financial reports for the fiscal year 2021-2022. And to do this presentation, Ms. Tiffany Bell, Assistant Superintendent of Business Services. Ms. Bell.
Good evening, board.
Good evening.
I'm so excited. We have officially closed the books. So your unaudited actuals are our 4th and final financial report for 21-22. This report will include all revenues and expenditures from July 1st through June 30th, July 1st, 21 through June 30th, 22. This report has to be approved by LACO by September 15th, and we have asked for an extension because of the board meeting tonight, and they have extended the extension. So let's get down to business. So this is a spreadsheet that shows your board-approved budget for 2021 versus your projected year budget, and that was pretty much your second interim, and then our unaudited actuals, which is your final. So in the columns where it says board approved, so this is what we said we were going to do in June of 2021, And then you go to projected year, that was our second interim, so that's what we did. And then our unactual, in the last column, is what actually happened, okay? So going across in our revenues, in June of 2021, we had approximately $55 million. There's a difference between that and our projected year at $56 million. So we, at that point, if you remember, when I came to you first interim, we were down because our UPP count was down. And then we came back at second interim, so that's where you see your difference with a plus $1.8 million. So then we came in the second interim at $56 million. Then there's a difference of our unaudited actuals, and this is what really happened. And you see that we were down about $1.5 million. Over there was a loss in 88, about 172 students. So that's the difference. So our expenditures were pretty much the same. We were at $53 million for our board-approved budget in June of 21. Then we went down a little bit, and then in the second interim, we were at 52. We were about $400,000 short. And then there's a difference between your second interim at 52,000, and it went down to about 49,000. So you're saying this $3 million, what happened? Which is good. So I'm gonna tell you what happened, which is really good. So there was a drop in supplies, and our projected budget for supplies and books, we budgeted for about $2.7 million, but we paid about $1.3 million. Then there's a projected cost of that we did for our outgo, about $1.7 million, but we spent about $500,000. So we over-projected, and we came in under, and so we're at 3, we were short. I mean, we lowered our expenditures by about $3 million. I'm looking at you, Dr. Amerson.
I apologize, I got a little confused because I heard 52,000, but I think you meant 52.
52 million, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah. Everybody's gone.
Please continue. Sorry.
So I wanted to make sure that you understood what the outgo was. So our outgo is our administrative cost that we use for programs. So we have to charge a certain fee, and this is the fee. And that was where we were, we came in a lot lower. So if you look at excess, we were at $1.7 million that your board approved. Then we went up to about $4 million, and then we were at $5 million. This is the difference between my notes. So if you look at the projected year and second interim was $4 million, and then an unaudited was $5 million. It's just our difference between our revenues and our expenses, and we came up about $1.4 million. So our beginning balance stays the same all across from your board-approved budget, your second interim, and your unaudited. And then your ending balance, it includes your revolving cash, your stores, reserve for your economic uncertainties. And so at the end of the day, it says that we are about $10 million in our ending balance. So these are the slides, because everybody says, well, I like to see it, I heard what you said, but these are the pie charts, where you see that our LCFF revenue in our general fund is about 65% of our revenues. Our local is about 10%, state 13%, and our federal 12%. Our general fund expenditures, everybody always says, well, we understand you always say it's your salaries, but I want to make sure that you understand that. Our certificated salaries are about 40%, classified 15%, benefits 23%. So that's almost 80% of our budget goes to salaries and benefits. So last but not least, everybody continues to ask about our COVID funds. This is information that we have left. This is the expiration date on your right for each one of the funds, and the remaining amount as of 6/30/22 is about $6 million that we still have left to spend, with most of them expiring between September 22 through September 24. And these are restricted funds. So at this point, we are ready to submit our unaudited actuals to the county, and then we will come back at our budget adjustment for first interim. And if you remember what we did before, your budget is what we do in June, and then we come back first interim and we say, again, this is what we said it was, and we keep adjusting throughout the year. Are there any questions?
I have a couple questions, Ms. Bell. So number one, I don't know if this is better for you or Dr. Amerson or Dr. Hillman or whoever, but we do have listed in the, sorry, this is on slide number, I think it's the 5th one with the COVID funds. So it mentions that we have $466,000 that needs to be spent by the end of this month. I was just wondering if that's already been spent, because I see that this is the remaining amount as of June of this year. I just wanted to see if that was spent or if that is still lingering.
At the end of June, that was what was spent. We have not spent approximately $500,000 in the last month or so. We just closed the books and now we can begin spending again. So that would be effective July 1. Anything that was spent then we will do a journal entry to capture that. But nothing has been spent at $500,000 within the last 30 days.
Okay, so well, I mean, I guess, will we get to spend that before the end of the month?
Yes.
Yes. Dr. Hillman's over there chomping at the bit.
I'm chomping at the bit here, yes. And those dollars, similar to our federal dollars, are on a different fiscal calendar. So we have until October 1st for federal dollars is sort of the new calendar. So now we can really, like Ms. Bell was saying, we've been spending, but we can make that adjustment before the September 30th. So it will be, don't worry, we'll spend it.
All right, good, because I know Ms. Bell had said that she said no more bottled water in the district office, and I thought, well, we can get a lot of bottled water.
No, we're not going to buy bottled water, but we'll take care of it.
All right, great. And then the other question I had was, so we were able to approve some salary increases. Some of them were retroactive back to July of 2021. So are those numbers sort of figured into that table already?
No, that is, see, this is where we get confused. This is your unaudited actuals, so this is what we actually spent at the end of June 30th. And so your budget is what you approve that raise in.
Okay.
Then June. So
Gotcha.
then you'll see it come back around first interim and you see the cost then.
I see. Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other question? I do have a question. This is a restricted money, right?
Ms. Bell, which one? I'm
For
sorry.
the COVID dollars.
For the COVID
Yes,
dollars.
COVID dollars, yes.
Okay, it's just specifically for the COVID,
Yes,
the COVID program.
that
Okay,
is correct.
thank you. I just want to make sure that. Okay, anything else?
Well, lastly, just, how did
You turned yourself off. There you go.
how did they determine the amount we would get for the COVID fund? I mean, is there a scale that they use, or is it a certain amount that each school gets?
My understanding is based upon your school and your population.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
I have
welcome.
one comment. Thank you, Madam President. I wanted to just point out on the slide that had the table with all of the dollar amounts, if we can go back right there. We are, contrary to maybe some folks' opinion, we're a very conservative district with the way that we spend our money. And I'm going to the expenditures specifically. So if you look at the board-approved expenditures at $53.3 million, and then we projected that we would spend less than that for the year at 52.9. And in fact, when we audit the books, or when we did our own audit, and then our auditors will come in and do the actual audited actuals, we spent $49.8 million. We continue to always look for ways to streamline our expenditures, to shrink our cost of operating, while maximizing the benefit of instructional programs and services to students and support of staff needs. So I just wanted to point that out because that's a very, very, very large difference in between where we projected the board approval in June of 21 versus where we actually finished out. We're talking about north of $3 million in a difference in reducing expenditures, which I think is a testament to the hard work of our staff and of the team. So I just wanted to note that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bell, and thank you, Dr. Amerson. We now move into superintendent's report.
Guess I could have just kept talking. Madam President and members of the board, as always, thank you for your support of the work that we're doing. There's a lot of good things happening. I was walking with one of our principals a couple of weeks ago, and the principal stated to me, even though we were only like at maybe like day 20-ish of the school year, it felt like day 60, day 70, because we were already kind of in the flow of things. And so my comments tonight on my superintendent's report are really about the work that is happening, the work that is going on, where it does feel much like the middle of the school year. Yesterday we did our first, we have a normal practice and routine of doing what we call our learning walks. It's where we do a deep dive. We're walking with our building principals and collaborating with other school site administrators from across the district to go in and identify best practice. What effective teaching practices do we see across our classrooms? And so yesterday we were at Beardsley, and there's amazing things happening at Beardsley in our dual immersion program. So this year, and dual immersion at Beardsley now runs the span of TK through 6th grade. And that was built over time. My first year here, I believe we were just doing TK1 or TK2 at that point. And we've consistently been building this program to now see our 6th grade students essentially bilingual, biliterate in English and Spanish is truly a testament to the work that's happening. The leadership of Principal Romero and the leadership of that entire team and school community is really starting to bear fruit. We're going to continue to do the learning walks, and we're going to continue to uncover all of those kind of diamonds in the rough that are all across our district, these really, really high-level teaching practices and highly effective learning environments. There was a nod this evening, I think Sophia captured it in her comments, where we talked about what I'm calling our multi-sport athletic complex. Because sometimes people get caught up in gym. It's not just a gym. It's brand new tennis courts, lighted tennis courts, a brand new quality surface, multiple sports, multiple activities that are going to help the health, the safety, the vitality, the social emotional engagement of students at Doherty High School and students across the community, quite frankly. And so don't think of it as just a high school gym, because it's much, much more than that. It's going to be much, much more beneficial to students and to this community than just calling it just a gym. It's more than that. Also going to be an item that's going to be coming up later this evening for the board with Hanover Research, in partnership with Hanover Research. This is extending on the Doherty Rise 2030 Strategic Plan Initiative that I talked about in convocation. This is going to begin to lay the framework for this long-term multi-year strategic plan. So I'm really, really excited about that partnership work and looking forward to moving and engaging in that. The last thing is just a quick note on the Andrews Doherty Consolidation Project and the update on that. Currently, the district has an open RFP queue for brokerage services, which would allow us to continue to move that project and that program forward, which gives us the ability to start to scope out what potential opportunities will be there for that program and for that project. And so just want to continue to keep the board and community informed as these things move forward. And with that, that's a conclusion of my report. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Dr. Emerson. We now continue with requests to address the board. Mercedes, did anyone has requests to address the board? Thank you, Mercedes. Moving to general functions, approve the minutes of the regular meeting of August 18, 22nd. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mr. Figueroa. Second? By
Mr. Bell.
Mr.
Second.
Bell. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's time for the students also to vote.
Aye.
Right.
Okay. Perfect, thank you. With the exception of Mrs. Carroll, absent. Okay, we now move, the next item of business is adoption of the consent calendar. Does anyone want to remove any item for separate discussion or action? Okay, if none, since we have no objection, may I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Move to approve. Second.
Moved by Mr. Figueroa, second by Dr. Finlay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, thank you. Moving along. We now move to number 3, first reading of board policies. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bell, second.
Second?
Second by Dr. Finlay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. With the absence of Mrs. Carroll. Okay.
Madam President.
Yes, sir.
With permission, I apologize. Can we go back to consent and get the motion and the second on consent, please?
On consent calendar?
Yes, well, back one more page.
So I made the motion.
So
Mr.
Mr.
Figueroa made the motion and Dr. Finlay
Dr. Finlay,
and
second. Okay, thank you, Madam President.
all in favor.
Yep.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Receive for informational purposes the third quarter of 2021-2022 fiscal year results on site visits, reviews, and uniform complaint data. So that's just for information. And then fourth quarter of 2021-2022 fiscal year results on site visit, reviews, and uniform complaint data. So it's just information. Moving to personal student services, waiver of credentials requirements. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bell, second.
Second?
Second by Dr. Finlay. Any discussion? I would like to ask Mr. Crosby if he can just tell us a little bit about this.
Yes, there are points sometimes when we are hiring staff and they have not had their credential completed that we have to do this. We have a dual language teacher that has actually finished her credential program, but has, because of COVID and not having the RECA test during COVID years, that still has to be passed. Her credential has not been posted from the university as well, but she's completed all of her studies. So it's a temporary piece till she receives her credential, which we believe will happen in this first quarter. But this is a non-unique item, a regular item that we have when we have candidates that are the best candidates to be put in our rooms, but they have not finished their credentials for that. So that's what this is for.
Yeah, thank you for that comments, because I did read everything and I thought, what, until I finished reading everything, then I got that clarification. Thank you. Since there is no other discussion, Mr. Bell moved and Dr. Finlay seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The students as well.
Aye.
Thank you. So students, be ready that every time that I ask for vote, it is important for you to vote. Because even when you're absent, we will report that you are, one of you are absent. So Mercedes is the one who keeps us going everything. Thank you, Mercedes. Okay, educational services, public hearing for 2022-2023 instructional materials. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing for item 15.1?
Motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Figueroa, second by Mr. Bell. Okay, now the public hearing, I'm sorry, I will call to vote to open the public meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The public hearing is now open. Since there are no speakers, so may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by Dr. Finlay, second by Mr. Bell. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The motion is closed. Thank you. Resolution 03-2223, students' textbook and instructional materials compliance. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bell,
Second.
second by Mr. Figueroa. Any discussion? I do have a question, and forgive my ignorance, but I want to know, since everything is technology, do we still need books?
Actually, when we say textbooks, the new terminology is instructional materials, which is in fact the same thing that's in a textbook. It is delivered many times in an electronic format. We have to assure that every student has access to that electronic format, be it a device, and that they have the appropriate connection at home. So it may be a book, it may be something that's on the device, but it is a book, if you will.
Thank you. And you know why the reason that I asked for that is because as the experience that I had through so many years, I remember when parents complained that their kids were carrying a huge backpack with tons of pounds in their books. And it's amazing to be able to provide all that kind of material in a small, little, tiny laptop. And so I am very proud to see that our kids are growing at the speed that the world is going now. So thank you for explaining that to us. Okay. There is any other discussion? Since none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Public viewing of curriculum for grade 9. Receive for information the public viewing of curriculum for grade 9 secondary comprehensive sexual health and HIV/AIDS prevention. Business and finances, resolution number 0222-3 gang limit resolution. May I have a motion?
So move.
Moved by Mr. Bell, second.
Second?
Second by Dr. Finlay. Any discussion or question? May I just tell me what is this, please? Thank you.
You knew it was coming.
We were like, no. Seriously, it's the limit on the amount of tax money that's suggested for changing the population and inflation.
I didn't hear. Thank you.
Get closer.
Get closer.
Beyonce.
I'm sorry, Miss Bell.
Just get close to it.
The principal was telling me what. So the yen limit is a.
Oh, now your mic's off.
Marcelo, I want this one next time.
There you go.
Thank you. A limit on the amount of tax money that's suggested for changes in population and inflation that the school district can spend.
I see.
And it came in 1979.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a universal question at every single school board meeting when the GAN limit comes up. Nobody knows what the GAN limit is. It's from 1979, and it's a very, very weird taxation calculation. So thank you, Ms. Bell, for the explanation. Very
Thank
impressive.
you.
But
Okay.
it's pretty routine.
And I can claim ignorance because it was passed before I was born.
Okay, since there is no other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, approval of the Duarte Unified School District unaudited actual financial reports for the fiscal year 21-22. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mr. Figueroa, second by Mr. Bell. Any discussion? Since none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, non-agenda items. Usually, we will call the students first. And if you feel comfortable, I will start with you. You can say whatever you want since it's your first day, but this is something that we do at the end of the board meeting. Anything that you would like to share with us and the public. So I will start with you. Sophia.
I have no further comments, but thank you everyone for coming and for welcoming me.
Thank you.
Madam President, can I request that, our new student board members kind of introduce themselves and talk about, where they are, where they want to go, all that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of curious. I'd like to get to know both of you a little bit better.
Of course. So I'm Sophia Amaya. I go to Doherty High School. I'm currently a junior, so I got 1 more year left. And I'm also the ASB president, involved with CSF and the class of 2024. This summer, I worked at an internship at City of Hope. And after high school, I plan to go to a 4-year college. Which one? I'm not sure yet. And what I want to do, not sure yet, but those are my plans. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Audrey?
So my name is Audrey Ramirez. I'm a senior at Mount Olive High School. And then I am the treasurer for our Ambassadors Club. I did run for president, but they didn't vote me in, so.
But you're here.
Look who's on the stage now.
After high school, I really want to do a 2-year and then transfer to university to do film. I want to join the film industry.
Oh, okay.
Specifically producing.
Great. Okay. Thank you. And I see that your parents are here, right? And yours? And I'm here today. Do you like to introduce your mom and please?
My mom is her. That is my dad. And then my little brother's here too.
Thank you for your support to your son, and for us, it's a great honor.
It's
to
a
have
daughter.
you. Oh, that, a daughter.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, Audrey, I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't mind, that's fine.
Yeah. Thank you for the support that you give to your son, his daughter, and it is really great when we have our kids, and when he's talking about production, I see him going to school what city? Burbank is Mr.
Hollywood.
Is in Hollywood? The school of creators. Yeah.
Yeah, it's out in Hollywood.
In Hollywood. The reason that I go through that. Huh?
I said you're rewarding.
Yeah, but it's because I had a niece who attended MIT, Renee. And Renee went through that, and it did help a lot. And so I believe that the students that are attending MIT had a wonderful opportunity to get into film and all that stuff. So thank you. And it is a really great honor to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I would like to call Mr. Bell.
Well, again, I just want to say congratulations on the selection. Again, I'm sure Mr. Morris, and I thought I saw Mr. Russ, Ernst, he was here. And you young people would not be sitting there if you weren't thought well of. I'm just saying, they wouldn't have brought you here to represent. The position you hold is going to be important to us, because you're going to be able to tell us some things that we need to hear directly from you, because you represent your school district or your school location. And again, I just want to say, we look forward to Audrey and Sophia to be a good shepherds of the time that you're going to have here. And you're going to see, you will probably be so excited at the fact that you had this experience, because you're going to meet some people you would have never had a chance to meet. Just wait till you get ready to go to CSBA conference and places like that. So again, congratulations. Probably one of the best things that I enjoy, seeing young people grow and expand their knowledge. You have good opportunities, and so congratulations, and looking forward to working with you this year. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Mr. Figueroa.
So yes, congratulations, Sophia.
Your microphone. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations, Sophia and Audrey. Welcome to the board. I look forward to your participation and your comments. Just wanted to congratulate or want to wish everybody Hispanic Heritage Month. some good wishes as we start this next month. It starts today, the 15th of September, goes through October, and I understand you'll have some activities at the high school, so excellent. You know, it's an important day tonight for all of the representation. I think we have as a community, such a diverse community, and the Hispanic culture obviously is an important part of that. But just wanted to mention a couple of countries this evening. So Chile is going to celebrate their independence on September 18th. Costa Rica is this evening. El Salvador this evening. Let's see, Guatemala as well, September 15th. Honduras, September 15th. Mexico is tomorrow, but tonight is when they start the El Grito, right? Nicaragua. So Marcelo, congratulations to your country and your compatriots. So yeah, it's an important month for the Hispanic heritage community. So that's gonna be it. So just wanna hopefully participate in lots of good cultural activities this next month.
Thank you, Mr. Figueroa. Dr. Finley?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I think I've mentioned before, I have 3 DUSD kids that live in our home, and I know that it is, and they happen to be my kids also. I just want to point that out. You know, I know that this year is really in full swing. You know, as Dr. Ingerson mentioned, it feels like we're already knee deep in this school year, and it feels like that around my house. I have a habit of when Megan and I are getting ready to go to bed, of just taking a walk around the house, make sure the windows are shut or doors are locked, that kind of stuff. And I tell you, my kids all have desks in their room. They have desks, like legit desks. And their stuff is everywhere. I can't tell you the number. I'm tripping over laptop cords, and I see my kids, lounging in the furniture with their laptop out. We have the instructional materials now, the books, which, so I'm thankful that there's less stuff, but there's definitely stuff throughout the house. And while I have stubbed my toe a couple of times, it does make me happy to see that the kids they're going. They're already on the freeway. They're not just getting on the on-ramp. They are on it and going 75 and maybe even a little bit faster sometimes. So it really is great to see that our kids have dove into this school year head first, and I think it's thanks to this entire school district. I mean, and when I say that, I mean the parents and guardians who are getting their kids out the door, getting to school on time. It's the teachers, it's the proctors, it's the cafeteria folks, it's the administrators. Everybody, they're already going at 100%, and it's so encouraging to see that. And just me personally, I'm seeing my kids benefit from that. So it's wonderful to see, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And I also see this in, I've gone to a couple of the football games now, and we've been successful. I think the first 2 or 3 games we won, right?
Yes.
And they weren't just kind of like, ooh, we just eked that one out. They were decisive wins. So that's really great to see. So anyway, I'm excited about this 2022-2023 school year. I think there are wonderful, wonderful things ahead, and I'm excited to be doing my small part. So I think that's it, Madam President.
Thank you, Dr. Finley. And Dr. Finley, do you want to tell us from what school do you graduate, and where are you now?
Yeah, sure. So I am a DUSD alumni. So I went to Royal Oaks, and then we moved over near Valley View, and so then I went to Valley View, then I went to Northview, and then I went to DHS, and I graduated in 1999. Or as someone said to me recently, that I graduated in the late 1900s, which it's true, but it sounds so much worse. So I am a DOST graduate, and I left the city of Duarte for about a decade, going off to get lots and lots of schooling in, and I came back to Duarte, and I currently work where Sophia did her internship this summer. I work at City of Hope. Yes, you can really go out and do wonderful things coming from this school district, and then come back and work at a world-renowned Cancer Research Institute hospital. So it's a great place to be a student, I think. A great place to raise a family and go to school.
Thank you, Dr. Felder. And Mr. Figueroa, did I miss you too? What school do you went to and where did you graduate from?
I went to Royal Oak School, went to Andres Duarte Middle School, and then graduated from Duarte High School.
And what do you do?
I am a sales director for a travel company.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so, as you can see, we can have successful stories from our students. And so you have that great opportunity, the two of you. So you're gonna have a lot of fun. Still a lot to do. Okay, it is my turn. And I will tell you something. Today I'm gonna go a little bit crazy out of my way. Go ahead. A little bit out of my way, but I would say thank you for those, before I do that, thank you to those candidates that attend our board meeting today, and thank you for being interested in to be part of our district school at this level. And it is just wonderful to hear stories, good stories, and to try to help whoever is interested to reach their goals. And so with that, I will go and be a little bit crazy before I turn to Dr. Emerson. To say something about the country that you were born, and to be able to say, I was born in El Salvador. I've been married for 46 years with a Mexican guy. And to live in the best country of the world and be able to reach your dreams, no matter what you do, but to be able to serve at the level that I've been able to do, it is a blessing. It is an amazing blessing. And because of that, I'm gonna sing a song that I love, but it's just a small part. So I'm gonna put the microphone a little bit away from me because my voice sounds really high when I do sing. But it won't go like this, and many of you know. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. To you. Go.
One last comment.
I don't know what to say.
So Audrey just mentioned that you didn't win the presidency, right? So look up Jose Jose. Do you know Jose Jose? Jose Jose is a Mexican singer, and he participated in a competition in 1970, and he didn't win. But he sang a song called El Triste, became the world-renowned singer, and then became El Príncipe de la Canción, that became one of the most famous singers in the world. So, yeah.
And that song goes like this. El triste, todos dicen que soy. See?
Okay. What am I supposed to do now? Yeah,
I'm not asking to
No.
No,
So-
Dr. Emerson, before anything, I will tell you something. I went to back to school night to the Duarte High School, and it was amazing to go to different classrooms and see how engaged the teachers, parents, and students are, and it was a great opportunity to walk around. But I just want you to tell you that I was very surprised to see the Falcon Family Center. Can you please, in your report, your non-agenda items, talk a little bit about that?
I'd be happy to. So the Falcon Family Center is a component of our Community Schools Initiative at Duarte High School. So the Community Schools Initiative, in partnership with the LA County Office of Education, has provided Duarte High School with resources that provide kind of a well-rounded wraparound series of supports. And so those things included a certificated staff member that works in liaisons with parents. Also included a certificated staff member that does work specifically on the campus. There are safe spaces for students. There are resources available for social emotional support. And the Falcon Family Center is a resource center that has clothing, food, supplies, materials. But then also not only are those tangible resources there's also information about other county-based resources as well that support families and support students. And so it has been a great addition. I want to thank Mr. Haro and Mr. Ernest and the team at Duarte High School for supporting the implementation of the Community Schools Initiative and allowing resource centers like this to become a part of the Duarte Falcon family. And so it's just a great resource. If you're ever on campus, please go and check it out and seek it out. It's a really, really great space. My final comments for tonight, I just want to say welcome aboard to Audrey and to Sophia. It is really a privilege to have not one but two student board reps represent this community. Not every school district has two board reps. Most of them have one, some of them have none. But I think that the actions that you take as a school district shows your values. And the action of this community and of this board to have not one but two student board reps, because that's how important student voice is to us, shows what our values are and what we believe. And so we're going to call on you, literally and figuratively, we're going to call on you for support. We're going to call on you for counsel and advice and wisdom. And you guys have already done, it's like you're probably 3 or 4 board meetings in. I mean, your reports were tight, they were eloquent, they were chock full of information, and now, it leads us to want to know more. It leads us to want to know more about breaking down the walls in that program. A number of the board members had already expressed some interest in knowing more about that. So, Sophia, we'll look forward to you sharing more about those types of activities and interactions and things. And then, Audrey, to you, this esports, I personally think I'm the best gamer out there, so, yeah. By the way, I'm terrible, but I just thought it'd be a cool thing to say right in this moment. But esports is super cool, and what I think is really, really awesome is that there are all different types of activities that will engage students. Some want to be running around on a football field or on a tennis court, and some want to be on a computer. And we know that technology is something that is highly engaging, and so the embracing of an esports program that I know that's happening at MIT under the leadership of Mr. Morris, I think that is something that we're going to be super excited to hear and learn more about. And so, again, you guys are already bringing and adding value to this board, and so thank you and welcome. And then just the last thing is just to extend on all the work that we're continuing to do. I just want to look at my team, and I do this every so often, and just thank them for their hard work. In many cases, they're wearing multiple hats. They literally are wearing multiple hats. And doing a lot of important work while making sure the trains run on time, but we're also pressing the envelope on a lot of new initiatives and a lot of new things. And so I want to tip my cap to Dr. Hillman, Mr. Crosby, and Ms. Bell, as well as Mercedes, for their hard work. And thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Emerson. And just to finish my comments, I'd just like to let you know that a couple of months ago, some time ago, Mr. Figueroa and I traveled to El Salvador for a project that Mr. Figueroa and some people at the high school are working in to help some students in El Salvador in their free time. And so I told the kids, I'm gonna challenge you. If you can tell me one phrase in English when I sing this song, and I start singing that song that I just did. And I went up and say, ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then one of the kids raised his hand, and he say, I love you. And then I give him $10. Because to challenge a kid who lives in a very poor country of the third world country is just unbelievable how afraid they feel to say something. And what I did tonight is to tell you, not that I have a nice voice, but it's better to say something when you know what's going on. And that kid had $10, but the salary that his parents had at that time, in that town, is $5 a day. So he has a income of 2 days just to say, I love you. So I just want to share that. For that, I need a motion to adjourn our board meeting.
So moved.
Second?
And we are doing adjournments in memory.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah, there's some adjournments in memory.
Thank you. Okay. Adjourn in memory of Terry Lujan, retired longtime teacher, and Gladys Sarmiento, mother of Blanca Salamea, DHS bilingual aide. So may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bell, second by Dr. Conley. Any other discussion? All in favor to adjourn the meeting?
Aye.
Thank you, meeting adjourned.